Hello, welcome. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. As I always say when we're starting off these live streams, it's always awkward to start because you always want to be like, "Hey, everybody," but usually there's nobody in here like right at the start. So I'll save my hello, good morning, everybody for like in a few minutes once everyone's here. Once there's more people here, it's also early on a Tuesday morning, but we're gonna be here building the new Nether Emperor full armor. The full armor Nether Emperor just seems like it's rolls off the tongue easier putting the full armor first, but it's full Nether Emperor FA, or the Nether Emperor full armor. So give me just a second, just gonna do a little post here, just let people know to come on over and check it out. But yes, got this kit very early, and actually I got it before the images of this kit were public, actually. I've already seen the color, not images, I've seen a color image of this, and obviously I have the kit, so I know what color it is now. But the color images of this aren't even public yet, so very, very early. And so thanks to SNAA for making it possible for me to have this very early to share with you guys. Definitely going to be a cool kit. I really enjoyed the Nether Emperor the first time around. And one thing that I kind of liked about it was that it was a bit more simple. You know, it's very similar. A lot of people compare it to the Astray, particularly like the Astray Red frame. And one of the things that makes it similar is that it's just kind of doesn't have like a big backpack, doesn't have like big equipment, doesn't even have like a shield. It just has like a sword and like a fairly slim body size, or kind of like proportions or design, I guess. And the first Nether Emperor was very similar like that, and I liked that about it. But if you liked Nether Emperor but wanted it with, if you wanted it with more and bigger stuff, this is going to be the version for you. So is it just the Nether Emperor but with the attachments? Yes. Yeah, so that's what I was just going to say too. And then so the first part of this build, most of the build is going to be the same. The body, there is quite a lot, like the new parts, there's a lot of new parts. Probably, I mean, just in terms of like the volume of plastic, it's probably about half, maybe just under half, but it's pretty close. So I got a lot of stuff here. So yeah, the first part of the build is just going to be basically the Nether Emperor kit. Obviously, one thing is that we've got it in different colors. I've just got also, I don't have the actual instruction booklet. Your guys's will look much nicer than this. This is just a printout of the instructions, just because I just have it by PDF. And so yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So yeah, if you've seen the first Nether Emperor, if you've built it, or if you've seen my live build of that, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, I live built that kit as well when it came out, and then obviously reviewed it and everything. So the first portion of this will be pretty familiar, but we'll just go ahead and go through it just as a reminder for everyone. And again, you guys can see the colors and everything. That's essentially what full armor is. Yeah, I mean, right. It's you wouldn't really expect it to be like a totally new kit with, you know, with a bunch of new stuff and like all the rest of the body and everything's all new and all that. Like it's not terribly surprising. I agree that that what we got here for the full armor version is basically the same base body plus new weapons and all that stuff. So yep, that's what it is. All right, but let's see. That that's weird. Oh, hang on. Okay, I was supposed to put this in first. That's why. That goes there first, then this goes here. Okay. It's been a little bit. Like a tricky fit there. But yeah, I like the new colors for this one. It's not too, I don't know, I have to like look at them side by side. I feel like it's not that dissimilar from the original in terms of the color scheme. but a little bit different colors. We do still, once again, have different options for the head, kind of the V-fin on it, which is the same like what we had before. And I'll show you here in just a second. To get the rest of the armor here on the head, we get to that aspect of it. Oops, this is supposed to be on here first. Back that off there. But where? Wait, what? Oh, okay. It's not really kind of held on there by anything. I think we can do one of these. There we go. So I'll tell you the point here in a second where you have to make a decision as to which V-fin you're gonna do for this. Okay. Am I missing something? No, I'm not. That's weird. Okay. It's from, let's see. Okay, I mean, it's really just kind of like this last part here. Once we have the head mostly together here like that, let me adjust the focus here a bit for you guys. That's better. I need to tighten that screw on my camera. So the base head here, and then you can like have a couple of decisions as far as the rest of the parts here. Yes. I remember this part of the head being kind of tricky to get that clear part on there. But there we go for the visor. And then the face mask. And since the full armor, I mean, it kind of makes sense. So I definitely preferred the first kit, the original version. I definitely preferred it without like the face mask covering the face on it. But for the full armor version, it does seem like that kind of makes sense to have like the face mask down. Let's see. If I can get this part on here. Maybe. Come on then. Okay. Hold that thought for a second. Yeah, so like the regular V-fin, you have the choice of either yellow or dark blue for that. But yeah, if you're wanting to, let's see, use the head cover, we're gonna put that to the side. Now this part, I just can't seem to get on here. Hang on. Let's see, make sure I have everything lined up correctly and everything. It should be pretty simple. I think I know what the problem is. It's just that. Oh, okay. Let's see. Yeah. That's the problem. It's kind of not. I have, so this clear part here, the way that clear part fits into that blue part's kind of tricky to get in there. And then in the process of doing that, I kind of bent this side just a little bit. And I think that's what's getting in the way, blocking this part here from sliding into place. Yeah, it looks like it's kind of getting in the way there a little bit. So let's see. Because normally, It's definitely been my experience when it comes to building like SNAA kits. They tend to go together very smoothly. So to have this part kind of getting hung up like that is definitely not normal. So there we go. There's definitely some user error there. Just I kind of accidentally bent that clear part a tiny bit, but there we go. So it should be that that clear part should fit along the side there, kind of in between the two navy parts there, and it was just kind of getting in the way. Just kind of getting squished there. So there we go. With that part on the head, there's how that's looking. With the face mask, like I said, for the full armor version, I feel like the face mask is kind of like the way to go. And especially that's what it shows here in the image. Is that what's on the front image as well? Yeah, it is. But I mean, it kind of shows it both ways. So it could go either way. All right. Oh, no. No, this is going to be annoying because this is not wanting to stand up. My instructions here. I don't have like an actual stand or anything. I just have them leaning against that. Onto the torso. Oops. Another thing that I noticed when preparing the parts for this that I didn't remember about this kit from the first time around is that the pilot figure for in the cockpit is teeny tiny. This is meant to be like 1/100 scale, but the pilot figure is closer to 1/44 scale. But like the kit itself, I mean, is like master grade size. So I mean, it fits like 1/100 scale. Just comparing it to like a Gundam kit, but the pilot figure is definitely smaller. Okay. Let me ask too. Oh, you're on the mask assembly. It's a tricky. It was a little bit tricky there. Let me ask you guys: how many of y'all have built the original Nether Emperor, and what did you think of it? I assume most people who've built it had a good experience with it. All right. Speaking of the pilot in the cockpit, it's actually the first part of the torso that we build here. And it is very nicely detailed, I will say. It's going to all be hidden inside, but you do have some really nice detail there. Just to show you that before it gets closed in there, all the inside detail in the cockpit. But yeah, the pilot is definitely very small. For a 1/100 scale, it's definitely smaller than that. Like this is a 1/100 scale figure here for comparison from Bandai, like that. And actually, here's another one. This is another 1/100 scale Gundam figure, and you can see it's like a Odyssey style giant compared to that. My other Emperor is built, waiting on a Ninja Kamen Rider inspired paint job. Oh, nice. That'll work well for that. How big is this kit, George? It's like a master grade style, like size. So it's yeah, comparable to a master grade in terms of the size. I don't remember the exact like height. It might be slightly taller than like your average Gundam in 1/100 scale would be about 18 centimeters. This I think might be slightly taller than that, but not by much. Pretty standard like MG size. The only thing that's kind of tough about when I have these kits very early, and so early that I don't have the proper instruction manual and just a printed off like a PDF of the instructions, is that means that the instructions can sometimes be kind of hard to see. But, you know, can't complain. But I will moan about it a little bit. And it's not like oh, these old eyes kind of thing either. It's just that. Well, maybe I should in the future. Maybe it's worth just doing like a better print off of them. So I'm normally just printing them off like on just our basic office printer there, and like black and white, nothing fancy or anything like that. But Adam has a better printer in his office. Maybe I'll print them on his printer next time. Oh, speaking of that, that does remind me I need to remind Adam about something. Let's see. What am I looking for here? It should be this part, right? On that note, too, just if anyone was wondering, this Friday is going to be our usual like bi-weekly live stream, which, if anyone was keeping track, should have been last week, but we postponed it, and it's going to be this Friday. Also, this Saturday is build day here at USA Gundam Store. I'll be there. So I haven't been able to attend for the past couple months, just because it was summertime and I had different stuff going on. I was on vacation, this and that, but I will be there. So if you guys are planning on attending build day this month, this Saturday, come hang out, come say what's up. I don't know what I will be building, if anything. I normally like try to work on something during build day and usually don't make a whole lot of progress because I'm just kind of busy chatting with people and helping out and doing this and that. But I'll try to maybe work on some kits, because if you guys saw the short that I put out yesterday showing off some more early sample builds that I just recently got in, I have a lot of stuff to work on, so it would be a good opportunity. And then during build day is a cool chance to be able to work on some, like probably one kit, maybe one of those kits, to be able to work on it live, and people can actually see a new kit in person, see what it's like. So try to plan on doing that. That'll be cool. Did you start working on the PGU new Gundam, or you didn't build it because it's too big? Neither. I've not really started working on it, but not because it's too big. I mean, necessarily. I mean, yeah, it's just going to be a big time investment once I do start working on it, for sure. But it's not really for any particular reason. Let's see. It's just that I just haven't had the time to start working on it. One more thing that I should tell you guys about this is that it doesn't really matter for this part of the build, but once we get to like the full armor section, I am unfortunately missing a runner. So the company is sending a replacement for me for that, but I obviously don't have it yet. And so I will have everything when it comes down to the review. So I'll wait to do the review until I have everything here. But in terms of just our live build today, I will not have everything. I'll show you when we get to it. But yeah, unfortunately, it's a runner that is doubled, so it can still do like most of the build. It's just like one part that's supposed to be double. I will not be able to do double of. It's just like some weapons parts mostly. Okay. I was gonna say, there's our frame. There's most of the frame. We still have a little bit more here left. So of course, when I got to that part where I'm cutting out all the parts and like realizing, oh wait, there's supposed to be two of these, but I only have one of this runner. I was panicking a little bit, just thinking like, okay, because I was cutting out the parts at home at the time. I was like, okay, well, maybe I just left it in my office, which is unlikely. Because I mean, I feel like, I would notice if I just like left a runner out, like when I was packing everything back up in the box to take it home. That's the kind of thing I would notice. But, maybe it just fell like off to the side of my desk or something, which, on that note, I feel like I did check pretty thoroughly for that, but it is still possible. But I think everything was there. Anyway, I was watching back. I was watching back the unboxing video because of course the good thing is that I'm like recording a video while I'm unboxing the kit, so it's a good way to be able to go back and check like, okay, was this there or not? Like if it was there in the unboxing and now I can't find it, it means that I have it. It's just somewhere. But if it was not even there during the unboxing, then that means it wasn't in the box to start with. So that's happened a couple of times though, where I've been able to utilize my unboxing video footage to find stuff like that. And yeah, it certainly looked like that that runner was not there. So yeah, we'll double check again. Because now that I'm saying that out loud, I'm wondering like if it could have snuck off. Like I looked around and like it's not like it would be like hidden and odd. It wasn't like a tiny runner. It wouldn't be off in like some corner of my office where it'd be like hard to see. Like it'd be very easy to see if it was around somewhere. So I'll have to double check again just to be sure. But it's very easy to just to imagine that because this is a very early sample and it wasn't even packed in like a proper like box for this. Like the box that this came in was actually kind of threw us all off at first because it was packed in a box for the Thunderbolt kit, the In-Era Thunderbolt kit, but it had a paper on the front of it that said like something different. I can't remember exactly what the translation was. It was there in Chinese. It's something like said like Hades sample product, something like that. I was like, oh, is that just like a weird translation of what? Because it was in a Thunderbolt box, we assumed that it was like the new like white and blue version of the Thunderbolt kit. But then like looking at it, we're like, that's not the right colors for that. And we realized what it was. And we were just, because this was so early too, we were just not expecting to see a sample of this showing up. So sometimes we know what samples are on the way, but a lot of times we don't. And they just kind of show up. So just kind of depends. This was a case where we didn't know that this was coming and it took us a minute to figure out what it was. Because the instructions weren't in it either. It's just a box of runners, and we had to try to just like look at it and figure out what it is. And because it was so early, nobody was expecting this guy. One thing about the fit of these SNAA kits, I was saying a minute ago how like the the fit is always really smooth on these. That's true. But when I'm doing like these live builds like this, and especially on a kit that I've built before, if this is like a Bandai kit, I feel like I can like throw it together faster. I kind of missed the alignment on these. But because the fit is so like precise, I don't know, it means I have to be like more precise. Like this is a perfect example of like how I'm putting these parts together because I missed the alignment on this. Whereas if compared to if this was like a Bandai kit, I can basically just like throw it together very haphazardly and it just kind of falls together. What color is the expansion armor? We're getting there. We're getting there. Basically, I mean, you can see the color scheme of what we have going on with this here, and you can like expound that out. It's mostly like navy blue is like going to be the main color, like bluish, navy bluish kind of color is the main color for the armor and stuff. But we'll get there. I know. I thought about just like building the main body first off stream, and then having the live build basically just consist of like just the new parts of this. But that's not as fun. I mean, or maybe that would have been better. But I thought about it. Obviously, it's not what I decided to do. Just because we do have new parts for the body, but actually you kind of you go back and add those later. It's like the first main portion of the build is all just, it's just all the same parts. Then we do have some new parts for the body that, yeah, you're just gonna, you kind of build separately, and then you go back and kind of add them on, do some minusing and subtracting for those. Where's this part here? It should be part that goes inside here. Let me see. There was a couple of leftover parts. Might as well just set that there. And this was one of them. This was one of the parts that I thought was left over. Actually, I need. Where are we? Here we go. There should be lower side like that. Okay. It should be moved to the front, but how do we do that? I don't remember. Push it in from the back. That's right. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. I searched on Google and only saw that Chic Mainland that produced what looks like a grunt kit. yeah, if you want like grunt style kits, Chic Mainland definitely is a good company to check out for those type of designs. I mean, you've got like that new, was it the new Edis technology kit that again that I showed in the video yesterday, kind of showing off some more of the early sample kits that I got. You got that new Edis one, which is like kind of looks a bit similar to like the Jesta. That has a similar, that has like a kind of grunt type of vibe. And then Mononuclear, I think it's Mononuclear, right? Had those couple of kits out recently that are different from like their more kind of like Chinese ornamental, like dragon kind of themed style builds like they're most known for. They've had a couple out recently. I believe it was Mononuclear, right? It's like one that was kind of like tannish and another one that was kind of greenish. I forget the names of them. But those are also kind of a bit more kind of militaristic grunt kind of style designs. Kind of. But yeah, definitely Chic Mainland. It's like got the best grunt kits, I think. For sure. So they'll make another batch of Gus soon enough. There's that too. There's the Gus. That's what I mean. That's another one where it's like a grunt kind of type of design, but still like very like super detailed and like a ton of parts and stuff. But if you're wanting a grunt design, like a grunt kit that's not so super detailed, like just kind of very simple in its design, doesn't have a ton of detail on it, and grunty in that way, if that's what you're looking for, then yeah, definitely a Chic Mainland. As for our side skirts here, let's get this on here. I think I can remember how this goes. Oh, that's not right. All right. So with that, we're good for now. And just wondering, do I have those side skirts parts on there the right way? It's like looking at that now, it doesn't look quite right. I guess I do. They are meant to, it's kind of like stick up like that. But again, it's like, it's a little bit hard to see in the instruction manual just because it's photocopied, but not photocopied, but anyway. I suppose that's right. Okay. Anyway, there's most of our body there. Well, you got this so early, bro. Yes, I did get this very early. Yeah, as I was saying at the start of the stream, in case you missed it, yeah, I did actually have this sample before the before it was up for pre-order, before it was publicly shown. I don't know if anyone had like seen, I don't know if any like images of this had leaked or anything like that. Not that I'm aware of, and certainly not from here. But most people had not seen this until, yeah, after I had already started working on the sample here. So, There's our arm frame, most of it. 1, 2. Is that okay? See? No, not you. And here. See? So I'm just trying to zone in for a minute on this arm here. Yeah, if I just realized that some of you probably just wanting to see the reveal of what like the colors and the new parts and all. Well, if that's all you're interested in, to go and come back in like 20 minutes when we get to that part. We'll be there pretty soon. The arms obviously go together pretty quickly. The legs will be similar. The legs have a good amount in there, but shouldn't take us too long before we're on to the rest of the new parts. A little bit tighter there. Nether Emperor legs takes some doing. I mean, they're more complex than the arms, but not that bad. As far as I can remember, I mean, could be proven wrong in just a few minutes. Oh, yeah, and then this part here. I'm always nervous that that part's gonna fall out, but hasn't happened yet. Okay. Hands. Got like a bunch of different hand option parts. For the time being, I'm just gonna stick with our closed fists there. So one arm. Yeah. Gonna wait on that. Let's see if we can do the other arm even faster. I want to have a couple of these parts here separate. Fist, hand parts. This is down. All right. I had to take 4 days of nonstop building for mine. Oh, really? No. I will say this, yeah, the original version was definitely quicker build. I mean, in comparison, obviously, just with this having a lot more parts, this version is definitely going to take a lot longer to put together than the original version. That's for sure. Uh-oh. Realizing I forgot to put my live light on. So I hope nobody pops in. Why Chinese kit love to produce big kits, some even PG size or beyond. I don't know. That's another reason why, to be honest, I kind of like the Chic mainland stuff, is because I like the smaller, like HG size stuff. I mean, like stuff like this is cool too, and even bigger. But you know, sometimes you want just like a nice like smaller, simpler HG style build. I mean, I like that kind of stuff a lot, and so I definitely appreciate that we have Chic mainland kind of really dominating. I mean, like the smaller SNAA kits are smaller in size. They're still like quite complex though, so like kind of more comparable to like a an RG than an HG. But I mean, just in terms of like smaller size kits being available, they exist from SNA. But yeah, definitely really like the Chic mainland kits for their smaller size as well. There you go. One thing that I'm going to be curious to see, because I obviously prepare all the parts, but I've not tried it yet, but just to see how the new parts, because as I said, in order to do like some of the full armor parts for the body, we will have to remove some armor and switch some of the armor. So I know like in the shoulders is one area where there's like some part swapping you have to do. And I'll be curious to see just how easy or difficult that is. We'll find out. So upper body is all done there, all except for the legs. Let's go ahead and get on with those. If I can make my instructions to stand up there. Chinese third-party kits fill the hole that Bandai can't fill anymore. Yeah, that's another good point as to why a lot of Chinese model kit manufacturers make a lot of larger size kits, is because yeah, that's a good point. They're filling that void of like, that's the kind of kits that there's a lot of people like, and then Bandai's not making a lot of them these days. A lot of new stuff anyway. So yes, there's an opportunity for them to fill that void. That's correct. Nether Emperor has gold parts where you had yellow. Yes. Oh, yes. That's another good thing to point out. Yes, thank you. Yeah, where you had the option of using the orange or the teal parts before, yes, now those parts are gold, so there's another color difference in there. I forgot, just because I just kind of think that in my mind, SNA kits always have gold parts, but yeah, that's true. The Nether Emperor was an exception that did not originally, but now it does. For the full armor version, it almost seems that like the full armor version is like the complete Nether Emperor, not like complete, but what do I want to say? You know what I mean? Not like final version, but well, how could you say that? I guess complete kind of makes sense. But anyway. Not that the original version of the Nether Emperor was incomplete, but that this is like the final form, sort of. If you get what I mean? Definitely the knee is a bit more complex there, but still not too bad. Just the frame of the leg compared to the frame of the arm. The frame of the arm was very simple, really. Come on now. Accidentally popped out this piece here. Stay in there, please. Why are you doing that? There we go. I'm like hunched over like this. Sorry, just because of just kind of making it easier for me to see at the moment. Let's see. We wanted this. Oh no. There we go. Okay. B. There it is. Oh boy. All right. That's here. Yeah, there's certainly a lot more involved here on the legs. Let's not forget that. MG Messer or Gustav Karl. Either of those would be pretty cool. I mean, wouldn't be some of my top choices, but Definitely would be cool. I wonder which third-party Chinese company is going to break through as mainstream in North America market like Bandai does. I assume Motor Nuclear will be there first. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know if any company will be mainstream in that way. I mean, because Bandai is huge. I don't think any like third-party company is ever going to be like that. And honestly, they're probably not even. I mean, like, would they like it? Sure, I'm sure, but I don't think any of them are thinking that that's like where they're headed. Would be my guess. That's just like on a whole other level. But is it possible that that's cool? I forgot that we had that little yellow piece inside there like that. Is it possible that a company could? I think what will be like a main like deciding factor as far as like one of these companies like really kind of breaking through a bit, as it were, is if they break through into the Japanese market. Really, it's kind of a bigger tell of like breaking through successfully and financially and all that. Because that's that's part of the reason why Bandai is so huge, is because they have, such a demand over like such a command, I should say, over the Japanese market. And a lot of that is, just because obviously they're good products and popular products, popular franchise. Gundam's a huge franchise and all that. But aside from all of that, there is also the nationalistic side of it too, is that it's a Japanese brand and people like it because it's like Japanese brand and made in Japan and all that. And it's like IP that has a large and adoring fan base. Whereas like stuff like this is not, doesn't have all of that built in. And then, yeah, you kind of also have to they basically have more work to do to convince like the modelers in Japan that these are good quality kits and, honestly produced, and that they're not, using like Bandai or like Gundam IP and stuff like that. It's one thing that Japan audiences will just not allow for the most part. So I actually have seen, speaking of like Chic Mainland, that's probably the company that I've seen the most on like Japanese Twitter. Still not really ever seen anybody that I've really noticed building like an SNA kit or Motor Nuclear, really. Sure, there are some people there who do like these kits and all that, but definitely the one that I see them the most, and which is still not really saying much, it's not a lot, but I have seen a few Japanese modelers on Twitter seeming to really enjoy the Chic Mainland kits. So they're starting to break through, I think, a little bit over there. And it's definitely something to look out for as that increases. This is meant to go on last, but I think I can put this on now. And I remember this being a tricky part, and I think I remember saying last time building this kit that it's better to put this part on before than later. Just because it's hard to get in there after the fact. Where's the other H part? I swear it was like just right here. Let's see. Maybe I've just got it in the wrong spot. Very possible. Should be a couple of these. Yep. One of them is in the wrong spot. Okay. So there's our leg. I do think, I mean, one thing that I did like about the Nether Emperor the first time around was the fact that you had those color accents and that cool like orange or teal, depending on your choice. I did like that, but I gotta say it does look really nice and very regal, you know, as is kind of the case with a lot of these kits with the white with the gold. I mean, it definitely fits in with the kind of established standard color scheme for a lot of the SNAA kits. This white with the gold accents on there, especially here on the legs, does look pretty cool. They're steadily dropping a little lore. Yeah, Sheik Mainland does have some, it's kind of like 30 minutes missions where there's like some lore that's just kind of in the instruction manual. You just have to like kind of read the instruction manual text. There's little bits in there. All right. Second leg. No, I don't remember. Do I need to go all the way back to the beginning of the frame part? Yes, I do. While we're here, though, we can put this part together. I hope I have that correctly in there, because looking at it now, I think that I don't. I'm going to have to double check now, because I think this part here at the top, I think I have the other one wrong. It should be to the front. Now I've got it the other way. This part here, you can see it, like this peg is like a little bit to the front of the back. I have it wrong on this one. What I should have done is put this one together the opposite way and just flip them around, swap them. Well, I don't know if that necessarily would have worked. Just to be on the safe side, we'll just take this apart and put it back together. Again, this is another issue caused by the fact that, again, I can't see the manual super clearly in some parts. I'm actually shocked that Toys R Us still exists. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Barely. I mean, like, they're holding on there, but not by much. But it's understandable. With the shift away from toys and more towards electronics with kids and the modern era, makes sense that Toys R Us would be struggling, as they're mostly obviously a toy store. But what's kind of interesting is that I saw, actually while working on this yesterday, I had on some, what is it? Twilight Zone, old Twilight Zone. And interestingly, there was an episode that came on that I thought was quite poignant in that it's about a guy that was complaining about, or like annoyed with the fact that people were just like people in his life were just like obsessed with TV, and he like was longing for the days when people like used to like sit around and listen to the radio and not just stare blankly at the TV. It's like that's been a thing of like modern electronics, just like being a problem that people complain about, you know, how like it's destroying your brain, like that's just been a thing for ages and ages. It's not at all a new phenomenon by any means. So that was kind of interesting. I meant to look up the date of when that episode aired, but I think, I mean, it would be, it's in season 2 of what's it? Twilight Zone. So if anyone knows, let's see, is that, no, it's not right, not the right one. This here, and I can't find, is this piece. Here it is. Hello. That's upside down. That's why. There we go. That. Knee part? No. Okay. Is that right? Okay. That's right. I was kind of worried I was getting ahead of myself for a second there. Building that second limb, you can kind of like cruise along because it's all very familiar. But it is easy to miss a piece here and there. Now let's see, what did I say? For this one, I wanted to put this armor piece on first, and I think it should be okay. Putting this armor piece on this front ankle armor here, just much, oh yeah, that's why you can't do it ahead of time. Well, we can do it before we put the foot on, and that should be easier. Just double check, that's all good. Where's that yellow piece go? Oh, in the back of the thigh. I did miss something, I think, didn't I? Or no, it's added on later. It's added on separately. Okay. think we're good on that. So once that's together, then we can add this piece on more easily. Now, then later on, once the foot is attached. So, okay. And we can attach the foot. Now back to here. Has anyone taken their Nether Emperor swords and repainted them? Any color suggestions? I mean, it's obviously like just like a chrome silver kind of sword blade kind of color. I feel like would make sense, but other than that, I've not repainted. I really wanted to, like when Nether Emperor was out at first, the first time around, really wanted to repaint it, but not. And as much as I would like to this time, I know for sure I'm not going to be able to repaint this one because I've just got a bunch of other stuff just kind of all happening. Certainly not going to be any time to be repainting on this guy, but it would be nice. It would be a fun kit to repaint. It's one of those kits that would be very easy to repaint just because of the design of it. You know, you don't have to do a lot of like seam removal or any other kind of like, not a whole lot of prep work required for this to be ready to paint. Oops. This knee armor would be a good idea. Okay, there we go. The main body is done. Now, if you guys will indulge me for a moment, we'll go ahead and build, just because going through the order of the construction here, it does have us build the weapons first, which is like the original weapons and backpack, I should say, before we move on to the new parts. So a little bit more before we get to the new parts of this. Again, you can see what the weapons and backpack and everything look like here with this. Hello, everyone. Hello, Julius. Oh, that's not there. Folding it this way will help it to stand up, maybe. Okay. Oops. These tiny little yellow pieces. I think, like, looking at this is another part that I seem to remember that I had a little bit of trouble with the first time around because I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong, like trying to get these pieces on here on the backpack. The way the clear green kind of part fits in there Gonna have to have it just the right way there. And this on top of that. Then I don't think that we're gonna keep these parts on them, so I'm not gonna push these parts on here all the way because I don't remember which parts of the backpack. It's not that I don't remember it's I mean, I obviously haven't built it yet, so I don't know. I just don't know. But there's some parts again that we're gonna have to remove and swap out for the full armor version. So I'm gonna assume some of these like parts here on the backpack are gonna be swapped out. But you have like cap parts here on the middle of the back and then parts here on the side of the back. I think all of those are gonna later be removed. So that's fine. They're not in there like super tight. It won't be like that difficult to get them out later. And there should be one more. There it is. For this side. Legendary could just turn the movie into a Gundamified so it's the same one, same color scheme. No, the color scheme, Rodman, the color scheme's a little different here, as you can see. It's mostly the same, but you've got that gold for the accents on there, like that. And then you'll see the when we add the full armor parts, it's gonna dramatically change like the overall look of the kit. There's a lot more dark navy and blue parts and stuff on there. So while the majority of the kit is in like the same color scheme of like the main body or a similar color scheme, it doesn't look dramatically different. It will certainly look dramatically different, obviously, with the addition of the new parts and with with how much more colors and stuff are going to be going on with that. Once we get to that here in just a moment, there should be this hexagonal piece, which is a G colored, just navy. That's what I thought. Where is it? I think I've got it. Where's that? I swear it was here. I wonder if I've got that in the wrong spot somewhere. We might have to come back to this part because I'm sure I've got that part somewhere. I'm probably looking right at it. It's like a little hexagonal piece that fits onto there. Let's set this to the side for the moment and we'll just come back to that. It's for the rifle. Finish putting together some of these other sections and then I'm sure the piece will reveal itself. It's probably right here in front of me and I'm just not looking at it for some reason. Hello. That doesn't have anything there. Okay, we've got this clear part here. Didn't want to lose that. It's kind of crazy. I don't know where the piece is. It's odd. I'm sure it's around. I swear I saw it. It's strange that it's not here. Got some other hand parts and stuff here. Our V-fin option parts. I don't think it's in the box. Let me look here. Oh, yeah, it's right there. Aha. Oh yeah, that's why, because this was the part that fell off the runners. When I was taking the runners out of the bags and everything, like, you know, sometimes you just got a part that, like, in transit, it's just like falling off the runner and it's just kind of like loose in the bag. This one was loose in the bag, and so it wasn't ever on the runner. So that's why I didn't clip it off the runner, and that's why I didn't put it in where it belongs, because it was just there in the box, and I forgot that. But I knew I'd seen it. So there we go. Problem solved. But let's see. That should fit on there like this. Mm-hmm. So there we go. There's our rifle. The camera scopes up. Yeah, the rifle is like that. There's the extended rifle that slides in, slides out. And I think that's all. Yep, we're good on that. Okay, crisis averted. Mm-hmm. For our swords here, I've also got a couple more clear parts that I didn't clip off entirely yet. So I'm always nervous about losing these really small little clear parts, because not only are they small, but because they're clear, they're kind of harder to see sometimes if you got all the parts laid out everywhere and everything. So I always like to leave them like partially on the runner, or like to leave at least like a chunk of runner attached, just to make sure that they're not getting lost. Okay, so there's our one sword, just like that. Really curious about that third-party Napoleon kit. Forgot what it's called exactly. It looked absolutely stunning with this art. I don't know what that is. It's the same color as before. No, a little bit different colors. And as I was just saying a few moments ago, it's definitely going to look a lot different once we get all the armor and everything on it. So we're just about to there. Let me just finish this last couple of bits on this part. Hey. Okay, let's see. one now. Up on there. And then this one. There we go. So, quite the construction there of the pieces here just for the sword scabbard. Is this the FA kit? Yes, it is the FA. So this is going to be your guys' chance to see it in full color for the first time live on national television in moments as, let's see, what piece is that? G. That should be this. What part is that? G, 11 and 12. It's this one. Okay, just like the angle of it looks weird and couldn't like recognize that in the manual. That's different. It's G12. Like that's right. Here we go. Yeah, obviously, if you've been watching, you've already seen kind of like the color changes to the main kit, but yes, you really kind of can't appreciate the full change to the color scheme without seeing like the full armor parts, because they're just gonna, as I said, they're gonna really drastically change the look, adding a lot more blue and particular like navy blue, like the navy blue like color that you see here. It like a lot of the full armor like wing type parts on there are in that color. I had messed up here. That should be inside there. There we go. Okay. And then lastly, the connection part for being able to attach the two swords together. Now this is all to say, if you want to use these parts here, our swords connected, and yeah, these last couple of clear parts, let's not forget those. Come on, get in there. Okay, that's a wrap on that. We've got backpack, weapons, and everything. So here's just kind of how the base kit looks for the full armor version. Yeah, so as you can tell, the teal/orange parts that you had for the color accents are replaced with the like typical SNAA gold. Yeah, just make sure you guys can see pretty well here. And the swords and rifle here as well. So we got all of that. I'm gonna keep this stuff in here for the moment. That's the end of box 1. So I actually have all the full armor parts here in a separate box because there was so much of it. See, like I said, just in terms of like the volume of plastic, you probably have about twice as much plastic with this full armor version. It does look pretty great. So there's that. I'm gonna set the weapons to the side. I'm gonna set this guy to the side. So let's see. Now we go on into, where are we at? 125 parts here for the cloak. So the cloak is made up of 4 sections. Kind of 3 sections. The front, the sides, and then the back are separated thusly. And as far as how it's all going to be attached, that is what I'm not clear on quite yet. So here you can see the colors for the cloak. It's like navy and gray, and then the gold accents on there as well. So do have some quite large parts here for this as well. And the parts that I'm missing, I mentioned earlier on, in case you guys are coming in later, I mentioned that I unfortunately I was missing a runner from this. Unfortunate, but it happens. I mean, with it being a very early sample, just kind of missed. Oops, and I missed this connection here. See if I can pop that in. There we go. So that's mostly going to affect the side parts of the cloak. I think the front part of the cloak we should be all good. Yeah, the front part of the cloak doesn't use any of the parts that I have missing. It's a pretty huge piece here, by the way, just this shell part. So you can see, like, compared to the body. And this is the front of the cloak, which I would have thought the front of the cloak is the part that opens up. Yeah, but again, I'm just building this for the first time. I've seen, you know, all the same photos you guys have. Anyway, I'm not so familiar quite yet with this to know exactly how it's all going to work, but we're finding out together here. Oops, missed a nub there. There we go. Quite the cool piece there. So you can see, yeah, this is like basically the color scheme of the full armor parts. It's navy and like a blue gray and gray. These parts are this one. And some of these larger pieces I have set to the side here. There's another nub that I missed. So for this one, that's not on there. There was a couple of spots where like there was a lot of undergating for the gates. And there was a couple of spots, I should have left one on just to show you guys, just to, so you could see it, but where like the gate was like, it didn't look like an undergate exactly. It looked like it's like a normal like gate on the side, but then like attached to like a little detail on the bottom side, but it's not actual detail. It is an actual undergate there that you have to cut off. But it took me a minute to like looking at it, and I had to like check the parts to make sure that it was a part that I was actually supposed to cut off, because I didn't want to cut off something accidentally. I had to like double check. Yeah, I should have kept a bit on there to show you exactly what I mean. It's kind of hard to describe otherwise, but just be aware of that. Oh, and there's another nub that I missed. Apparently I was in a bit of a hurry. And let's see, V for V is what color? Here it is. Come on, there we go. Oh, I like that. Very solid. And then, yeah, this is going to be a challenge. It's another part where I have to see which part is correct, and I hope that that's right. There's these two parts that connect on to here, and I can't quite tell which is correct, but this is later going to fit into here, so let's see. That looks right. I think that's right. If it was the opposite one, let's see. If it was this one, let's see how the fit is. It's basically the same. I don't know if I could tell the difference. Maybe it's not different. It is different though. One is R21, the other one is R22 or R27. There's actually a couple different options for that. But anyway, so there's that. Didn't actually need those quite yet. For the other side, okay, let's go. Wonder how Hathaway Part 3 will end. I don't know. I've got some catching up to do before I even get to that point. Is that sticking out a little bit? And there we go. So there's like option parts for connecting onto that I think are for doing something different. Eventually we'll get to that point, but there's this big chunk of what is supposed to be the front of the cloak. But I guess that this part becomes a shield and these parts open up to the side kind of thing. We'll see. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with how ultimately this is going to work, but there's how that's looking so far. And so this gives you an idea of what the color scheme is going to look like. Like I said, there's going to be a lot more blue and navy blue added on with the cloak, as you can see, like compared with the body. There is how that's going to look. This take a lot of time. I mean, there's a lot of plastic here for sure. Like I said before, there is like the full armor basically doubles the volume of plastic that you have for this kit compared to the originals. So yeah, there's a lot for sure. All right, now for this side section is where we're going to have an issue of missing some parts temporarily. As I said, I do have a replacement runner on the way. Let me just once over one more time and make sure that the runner didn't just like fall off to the side of my desk or something. Or that's not. Yeah, no. I mean, like I said, it's not too hard to believe that it's because of the fact that it's a sample kit that the runner just missed getting into the bag, but we will make do. Oh, please don't attach it until the whole thing is built. Please attach the front half for the extra edginess. It appears you butt dialed someone. Did I butt dial someone? Did I butt dial you, Chris? I don't think so. What are you talking about? Did I? What are you talking about? Did I butt dial you? I don't think so. I did? I find that hard to believe. This part up. So many plastic. Death by SNA. It is a lot of parts. Uh-oh. That's not right, but I don't think that's going to matter. Well, I don't think so. So this part here, this next part is this kind of like little Gatling gun bit here on the side. So this light color, this light gray color plastic here that I've got at the moment from the X runner. The X runner is the runner that I only have one of that I meant to have two of. So this is a part that you're supposed to be doing double. And yeah, it's a kind of like a cannon sort of thing here on like the side of the build. And let me see. This is going to fit into here. Huh? There's also supposed to be more of these. Oh, they're in the other part here. Let's say I've got more parts for this section that I haven't popped out yet. I'm hoping that we can basically build this whole section just minus the interior part that we're missing for this. Hoping that will be the case. Let's see. So we've got that. That we're not going to be able to put on at the moment. Handle here. So this part's going to go like that. So this is actually going to be, okay. All right, I see. So this is actually going to be a handheld, like kind of cannon, sort of shotgun sort of style looking weapon, kind of like that. But then folded up, it fits into the like side of the cloak there. But yeah, those light gray parts inside, I do not have the parts for. So we're just gonna have to like set these parts aside for the time being for the other side. So there's gonna be like, there's one of those like mounted on each side of the cloak, but I've just got the one for now. So for that, there is another section as well, which is gonna be kind of a similar thing. Like another like claw weapon. Probably should have put these navy blue parts on first. Like that. Let's see. This side, we'll do these parts first. Well, I'm glad that the parts that I'm missing will be easy to just put together later, and then they're not like really making it so that like I can't finish the build or anything without them. I'll still be able to build basically everything, and then we'll just have to come back for that last little bit. Oh, that's cool. Was there supposed to be something else added on to the side of there? Are we going to get to that on the next page? Yes. Okay. Interesting that we put that part on first, but okay. So like here's our side cloak, and then minus, still have these parts to add on here too. I just got it in the wrong section, it would seem. Oh, these are also, let's see, those are also X parts, I think, aren't they? Yes. Okay. So I want to add these to the side that's already complete with our X parts, which is that going to be hard to do at the moment? Okay, that's fine. It's going to be hard to get that off of there now, but we'll make do. Wait. I shouldn't be sliding out of there either. What is that? Okay, that's not on there. Why is it not on there? Now it's on there. Well, maybe what we'll do then in that case, if that's going to be out, we'll just add it here to the other side. So like I said, I wanted one side to be complete. if we're not able to complete both at once, at least one side's complete, and the other side is just missing a few parts. So this is our side cloak, which hides the kind of gun inside there, which you can take out. But we do also have this claw part here, as well as another part of this, which will attach onto the underside. So I already kind of put this together just because the blade parts, these blade parts on this claw bit are also parts that you're supposed to have double of, but I only have one of. So these are also going to be like a handheld weapon that you can remove off of there and hold. So this is going to be, let's see, on this side. And like this. So there's like a handle on there. I should zoom in probably a little bit here for you guys. There's a handle on there to be able to hold this in the hand, and then you've got like Wolverine claws, but when not in use, this can be attached onto the underside of there. So you've got like your like an additional like shotgun like weapon and claw weapon that are stored on like the side of the cloak there. On that side, the other side will have to be completed later on. Oh, wait. Here we go. That for now. Unfortunately, that side will just be like this. Like that. Now, as for putting it together, yeah, let's wait till the end. So we'll put those sections to the side for a second. Then next is the back cloak. I think the simplest of the sections. Of the cloak, anyway. This color scheme is very in line with our 144 scale kits. Yeah, the color scheme, in particular, I think with the Galahad, probably is the closest, with it having like a lot of like a darker bluish gray kind of to it, similar to this. But yeah, I mean the white with the gold and everything, of course, it's all very on brand. The center section there, kind of a little surfboard. And this side, goes, nope, not that one. That's not right. Which one's right? Must be this one, I guess. Like that. That I feel like should fit more inside there. It should. Oof. Let's see if we can pop that off and try again. Carefully. I feel like there must have been something getting in the way there. Oop. Well, it's close enough on that. I feel like that's not quite in there, but actually I think it is. Okay. Okay. So that. Oh, this is going to be a few sections here. Come on. There you go. This one here. Okay. So once we got those two side parts there like that, they will connect into the center section at the back. See, this feels more like the front than the back. Than the back was the front, but okay. Oh, piece stuck there. Like this. Yes. Everyone on the same page on that. Good. Side. Okay. Ring. Ring. Huh. All right. Very edgy indeed. There's that whole section here. All right, let's see. It'd be funny if they used all of the Requiem designs in the live action Gundam movie. That would be pretty funny. Yes. That is going to be, let's see, I'm just going to go ahead and add this on here. Add it onto the side there like that. And then we've got, where's that part here? There should be another little part here that I had set aside, and now I'm not sure where that went, but okay. Oops, let's not forget this part in here first. What? Oh, okay, that's another piece that I can't put on yet because I'm missing that X part. Unfortunately. A whole lot of pressing stuff together. There's our back skirt, I guess, back cloak. So it kind of expands out, kind of opens up. Tons of detail on the inside there too. I missed it, but the missing runners for this kit, which part will SNA send the missing parts to complete the... Yeah, yes, you did miss it. And yes, the missing parts are, it's one runner, actually two runners, but one of the runners is the Z runner, which is the same runner used with the original kit for just the hand parts. So I had leftover hand parts from the original kit, which I would just borrowed just for our use temporarily. The more important of the two missing runners is, yeah, a runner which is the X runner, which you're supposed to have two of. I only had one of. So it's just a handful of these like light gray parts. See this like light gray ring around here. There's supposed to be another one on this side, so I'll just have to put that on later on. But yes, they are sending, and hopefully it should be a very express sending so that I can work on the review and have the review out for you guys as soon as possible. But I let them know, okay, I'll go ahead with, because I had already planned the live build. So I said, okay, I'll just go ahead with the live build, you know, minus the couple of parts that are missing from that runner. And then I'll just hold off and do the review once the replacement parts arrive. So yeah, hopefully it won't be too long. So in the meantime, should still be able to like take some photos, and you just so you guys can like see, because yeah, the color photos of this actually aren't released yet. So you guys actually seeing it now are actually the first to see it in full color. Interesting. Uh-oh. Hang on, guys. I just got to change the camera battery. Bear with me just a moment. It's not bye-bye build. It's barely an inconvenience. And we're back. Should be. Okay. All right, this X part is another part that we are going to be missing one of. This light gray blade part here is another missing part there. Now that I'm looking at this, I'm realizing that was not the right part. I'm gonna have to take that whole section apart. That's annoying. See, when the camera goes out like that, it just distracts me too much. Just go ahead and swap that to this side. This little part here, there's two different ones that look very similar. One has a fat end and one does not. And I was supposed to use the one that has the fat end. Let's see if I can swap this out here. Vent part there is supposed to be sticking up, right? All right. Anyway, now we're back on track. So as we were saying, then we got this here. That's okay. That's another X part. This is another part that I'm gonna have to build later. So this is part of the sword that is going to fold up into there like that, I think, right? There we go. Should be. And I think I do have that part upside down. Oh no! That's so annoying. Now let me just make sure the other one's not upside down. I don't think so. That's annoying. Ay, ay, ay. This is one of the struggles of having the instruction manual just printed and not having it nice, bright, full color and all that. It was kind of hard to see. So this we need to take apart again. Just gonna sneak it without taking off everything. Now, hopefully that's right. Now when we fold it up, now it should, okay, yes, that's better. The folded sword. Okay. And hopefully everything else is right from then on. Lastly, and we'll have to come back to this section, obviously, later once the replacement parts arrive for this and that. One of these. One, okay, so you've got separate handles or individual handles, just kind of depending on how you want to do that. But the two swords will fit together in like that. I guess we'll just wait on that since we don't have those parts yet. But this one, because of the design of the sword, I will say it reminds me. Oh, shit. Why is it like that? That shouldn't be like that. Okay, maybe it's right. That's definitely on there. Now I'm just wondering if this part is also upside down, because this feels like this should go straight and it kind of doesn't. Let's see. But while it doesn't extend straight, it does fold up completely as it's supposed to. So I think that's right. So let's see. When it's unfolded, there's not really any images of it unfolded anyway. So I think that's right, as far as I can tell. So that's our sword parts for one side. Just imagine basically you're supposed to have two of these that then fit together to make one big sword. This can also be separated, I guess, and used as like kind of a chain sword, right? Or two chain swords or whip swords. What are they called? Something like that. So we'll just stick with the one. All right. So I think the next section is the armor replacement parts for the body, of which there are going to be some missing parts here as well. I think not a lot, just a little bit. Hopefully just a couple of very small, inconsequential parts, but some new parts for the body. And I swear okay, I thought I'd misplaced a part for some reason. Okay. We'll see how this attaches on, how much part swapping is going to be required or not. Hopefully not too much. Okay, this is actually supposed to go on behind first. Part P is gray. Like that. For the front of the chest. Very curious to see how this is going to attach onto the body. Okay. Then let's see. Oh shoot. He's going on here first. Got chest armor, like that. How well the parts fitting? The parts fit great as usual. I mean, like SNAA kits always fit nicely. I'm not experiencing any issues other than like user error. What was that? There was like a part early on like the head at the very beginning that was being a little tricky just because I had accidentally kind of bent the part a little bit. But I mean, yeah, for the most part, for these kits, I don't ever really have any problem with them. There's going to be some new shoulder armor parts, I believe, here. That, let's see. I think that's right. Seems like an odd fit. It's on there as it's supposed to be, but it just looks kind of weird. This one on the top. This part too. It's on there, but like the way the parts line up just looks and feels like something's off. Let's see if it feels the same here on the other side. Then I might retry that one. Let's see if the other side goes together exactly the same, then just is what it is. That's how it goes. No, this one's definitely a little different. So I think I've got something misaligned. Though I'm gonna have to take it apart and see. So yeah, definitely something's wonky on the other side. Okay, and the good news is though I can see how this is going to fit onto the shoulder. I think it's going to be very nice. Yeah, the problem is, oh, okay, I see the problem. This part wasn't on there, right? There we go, that should be better. So then that fits more properly onto there. And this side here as well. Okay, that's good. That's right. So I can see basically there's this peg on the bottom side of that rectangular peg that's going to fit onto the top of the shoulder. The shoulders have this light gray part here on the top that's basically going to pop off of there, and then that's where that's going to fit on. We'll get to that here in just a second. So got our shoulder armor parts, the chest armor part here, and then there's some waist armor sections here as well. Just to kind of bulk it up a little bit. This one, let's see, I think might be just completely replacing the front skirt armor. Like that, and then the side skirts. Uh-oh. There's a couple little bits that I missed. Where do those go? I've got leftover parts here. Makes me wonder. I feel like I missed them somewhere. Okay, that's another X part that we're gonna have to wait on. Okay, so we can't finish that. There's these little guys here which need to go somewhere. Where did I miss those? Oh, on the front of the shoulders here. Okay, so let's go ahead and attach this stuff now, except for this bit of side skirt armor there that we can't. So yeah, on the chest, everyone focused up, ready now? So you got these little parts here on the top of the chest. It's kind of easy to figure out where these connection points were going to be. Just, I mean, after building the base kit, you could kind of see where some of these parts were definitely made to be like just temporary, kind of like filler parts. So you remove those parts right there, and that's where the chest armor is just going to attach on, just slot right onto the front of the chest like that. Similarly, as I just mentioned a minute ago, these parts on the top of the shoulder, I'm going to remove these little bits here. And then which side goes to the front? This side, like that. Just attaches onto the top of the shoulder. And it says this little gray part's supposed to slide back, but it doesn't slide it back. It just pops straight out the top. That the side skirts are going to be completely replaced, like so. And the front skirts as well. Just going to completely swap those out. You can see definitely drastically changing the look of even the base body here. Just either covering up or replacing a lot of that white. And so we've got a very different looking body here for that, with all that extra dark navy armor on there, like that. So, okay, so that's just that part of it, though. Let me get everything kind of lined up here a bit. We'll add, think I complained about this the first time around, but the neck joints, kind of annoying. Okay. I want to set these to the side. Now let's add the cloak. Oh no, we can't quite do that yet. I forgot there's still another section to build, which is like the actual connection arms for the cloak. We're still good on time for the moment. Yeah, and it's quite a lot of parts here just for the connection arms. So I think, yeah, and then this is another part that we're unfortunately going to be missing a couple of pieces of here. And it's just these little detail pieces. So I think we can basically do most of this without that. But let's see. What? Here and here. Huh? Okay. That none of this is ×2. That is kind of the other problem. So I'm gonna have to really make sure not to miss anything here. It's like that. This one, not that one. Need the opposite side of that. Actually, that's the one. That's the right one. This. Ooh. These ones don't matter. I know. So here. Okay. That. That. Oh, not quite done yet. Oof. It's like I keep thinking that the next step's going to be like, okay, now you start on the other side, but we're still on the first side of this construction here. And the fit of that is odd, but it's definitely right. Okay. So after all that, connect that into that, and then we're done with one side of the connection frame here for the cloak armor is like that. Another part, this part that is missing here, unfortunately, let's see what all I can put together without that, because it's not a lot. Might have to wait for most of this section. Let's see. This is good like that. That means oh, nope. That's not right. That's annoying. That got flipped around. Okay, so yeah, it looks like, as I expected, we are going to remove parts here on the side of the backpack, but looks like maybe not on the back. Out of there. And then this is gonna go, let's see, 38, 1. 1, 2, like that. And then they're gonna fold around the front. So yeah, I won't really be able to put on half of the cloak here, it would seem, if it's gonna be like that. But what I think I might do is we'll just go ahead and put together this section without that. It's going to be kind of a pain to try to put that, like once I get the replacement part, to get it in there where it's meant to go, but we'll just kind of deal with that, I guess. So it needs to go like up in there. I think probably at that time I can just pry this apart a little bit just to kind of squeeze it up in there. And that should hopefully be okay. Oof, no. Like that. The trouble is also that not only is this like, is it just like the instructions on this one particular little part also didn't print very well. It's like extra dicey here. But good enough for now. Oh, that's interesting. What's supposed to be at the center of that backpack there? Isn't there supposed to be a little part at the center of the backpack? Did I miss that somehow? Backpack. No? That's weird. It's like a little hole in the center. Oh, I think that's where the action base connector plugs into, actually. Yeah, there's a little part in there. Where do I have that? This part's supposed to go into that little like triangular section there in the center of the backpack. So our action base adapter goes into there. And don't really know why. It doesn't really seem like it needs to connect onto the cloak, but so that's gonna fit. Let's try to get these lined up here first, so that this will work properly. Should be good. This is gonna be kind of tricky. No, maybe not. It's the back cloak. All right, we're getting there. Not the bat cloak, but the back cloak. The side cloaks are easy enough, I think. Let's just plug up onto the top here. What are we doing? Which side here? Okay. About like this. I'm wanting to try to put it so that at least all the finished side is on one side. It's not missing parts. And then the front. So we'll go onto there, and then that part can be a shield, right? So the center section of the front of the cloak can come off and be a shield, and you could just have the side parts. But if you want to have it all put together, hang on, let me get this on here. There we go. Ooh, he's a big boy with all the cloak attached onto there. So yeah, you can see we're missing some of the stuff here on this side, but you can get the idea there of how that's looking with that all closed up around the front of him there. Definitely adds a lot of bulk. The swords, the two separated swords then attach onto the back. Where exactly? Okay, I can see. There's a spot for them right there, I think, right? Something like that. There onto the back. Yeah, it's going to be a little difficult to show you guys here all at once. Let me see. There's another couple of parts here that do some other stuff. Let's see. Some of this stuff will have to wait later. So basically, it seems that kind of, for the most part, the weapons of the original kit, while included, don't really have a whole lot to do with this. I'm gonna have to double check as to like what you can really attach onto the kit, where there's like space to attach those weapons onto here anywhere, because I guess you could attach it like up inside there to the back of the waist, but it's definitely pretty loaded up. Yeah, that just adds so much size and bulk to this, like that already. And then, like I said, you can pop this off, and then that's just going to basically be opened up like that, and then this is just a handheld shield then at that point. So pretty wild, pretty wild. And yeah, you can see what I mean though. So like the first building the main body, it's just it doesn't look that different. It's mostly just all in white still, and then you just have like the gold instead of the other colors. But now after you add all the full armor parts onto it, definitely really changes the look of it quite a bit, I think. So yeah, there it is. Quite the build. There's a lot of stuff to build there. Very different from the first kit in that sense, as just going back to like all the way at the start of the build, I was talking about how the first kit was like kind of had a very minimalist design in terms that it just had, you know, just these couple weapons, no huge weapons, no huge backpack or anything. This one's a very different story. So there you go, guys. The review will be coming. As I said, just going to wait for those replacement parts, not replacement parts, but just the missing runner that I had with this, just to give us those extra bits that were missing. And I'll have the review. So hopefully it shouldn't take too much more than about a week. Hopefully by the end of next week, I should have that and should be able to get that review out for you guys as soon as possible. Anyway, all right, thanks for tuning in, y'all. It was a fun build. Definitely recommend it. If you've not built the original, you know, and you like the look of this one, definitely check it out. If you have built the original and you're wondering, is this one that you want to get, I can say that it definitely is a very impressive build. But I'm curious about, I'm just kind of, so there's a couple of these option parts that we have here that it doesn't show in the manual how to actually use them, and I'm not sure about that. Okay, or maybe it does. Let's see. Just trying to see if it shows anything more clearly. Okay. So one of these is an option part here. We have an option part here, and that is for displaying the cloak on the base on its own. So if you wanted to display the cloak separately from the main unit, you can do that. Basically just kind of remove the cloak and then keep it all together and use this piece to connect it to the base, or just like to connect everything together and then connect it to the base. Yeah. So you can do that. And let's see. Okay, and then this part, if you wanted to have the two swords connected and attached onto the main body, there's a connection part there for that as well. And a couple of other little bits in there, but yeah, I'll go over everything in the review, of course. For now, thank you all so much for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed taking a look at this one as the first reveal of this very cool kit. Definitely check it out. And yeah, I'll have a review coming out for you guys as soon as possible. See you then. All right. Bye, everyone. Adios. See you Friday for the live stream with Adam and I. Bye-bye. And Saturday at Bill.